Hello everyone, Alex here. Have you ever wondered what it's like to teach an online class with student-centered techniques and relate your content to technology, society, or the environment? Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you one of my assignments, where I got together with a couple of my classmates and we filmed an online class together. I highly recommend that you stay on till the end of the video as there's a little bit of a funny blooper there, and I'll also be announcing one of my upcoming projects. So with that said, let's get into it. Hello everyone, how are we all doing today?
Good, good.
Good, we're doing good. How are you, Mr. P?
Awesome, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It was actually pretty fun. I'm glad we had some time over the break. I was able to go ice fishing and hang out with some family. What about with you two?
Just been shoveling a lot of snow. A lot of snow this past couple days.
I would say the same. I shovel it and then I turn around, there's more snow, and then I clean some more, and then I turn around and it's back again. So it feels a little pointless at times, but just trying to keep it as clean as possible outside.
No, that's fair. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the food industry, and we're going to be discussing some of our insights from Hess's Law. So with that said, let's get into it. So the specific lesson expectations that we're going to be covering today are to solve problems related to energy changes in a chemical reaction using Hess's Law, and we're going to state Hess's Law and explain, using examples, how it applies to finding the enthalpy changes of a reaction. So starting off, what do you two think of when you hear the word calories? And you can use the annotate function if you want, or you can answer out loud, whatever works for you.
I was exactly going to say the exact same thing. Energy needed to perform various daily functions. So what's my calorie intake, or how many calories do I need to bring into my body so that I can work out, go for a walk, shovel snow, etc.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Yeah, David again with exercising. Perfect. Are there any foods that you think of when you think of, let's say, high calorie or low calorie?
I would definitely say high calorie being those high fat foods, fast foods, pizza. I had some McDonald's last night, so that was probably a lot of calories.
Donuts, anything that's high in sugar as well, is definitely have a lot of calories, but it's good to spoil yourself sometime.
Yeah, and what about low calorie foods?
Definitely those fruits and vegetables. The thing I believe celery, you burn more calories eating it than you actually do get from it.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So lots of vegetables, anything that's high in fiber.
Yep.
High in water content.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, and then what factors do you two think can affect weight?
David, go ahead.
Carbs?
I just initially just thought of carbs.
Okay.
Because anytime anyone's thinking about working out or fitness, they're always talking about, cut your carbs if you want to lose weight.
For sure. I would definitely say your level of activity affects weight. Obviously, your age, your sex.
Yep. Oh, that's good.
Genetic factors definitely play a role in your ability to lose weight or gain weight. Lifestyle, all kinds of things.
Okay, yeah. I think like a lot of it comes down to summing up the idea of calories in versus calories out, but there's definitely other factors that can affect your weight, sort of as you mentioned, Alex. Age, sex, exercise or level of activity. Genetics is also a big one, and medical history. Yeah, and then also like ones that people might not think of as well is how much sleep you get can affect it, and where you live. So
Exactly.
can either of you tell me why where you live is a factor in your weight?
I would say I live, so I don't have my own car. And so a lot of where I go to, there are bus routes, or I spend a lot of time biking or walking. Grocery stores are very close proximity to where I live, fortunately. So I'm able to walk or take a bike when it's good weather. Bus routes pretty frequently if I'm going anywhere kind of farther away. And I'm also very fortunate to live in a clean area. There's beautiful forests, behind my house and in front of it. And so yeah, it's just a overall good area to live in terms of nature, air quality, and that kind of promotes an active lifestyle, which allows you to regulate your weight better.
Yeah, wonderful. What about you, David?
Yeah. I also think where you live really affects what kind of food comes in and what kind of food is being sold in your area.
Absolutely.
It's a lot more healthy foods, or there's a lot more fast food restaurants and quick meals where people are working a lot and they don't have that extra time to really go and buy the organic food and cook for themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I fully agree with you. All right, so for the longest time when I thought of calories, when I heard the word, this is what I thought of. However, unlike as popular media would lead us to believe, it is important to remember that each of us have a healthy weight, and calories are not necessarily a bad thing. And that leads me into this next slide here. So we have two reactions here. The first on the left involves burning sugar in a one-step process. Can anyone give me an example of what that might look like?
It could be, I actually did a demo on this, creating a super saturated solution to crystallize sugar.
I think I did a similar lab in high school, so it's been a while for me, but it definitely rings a bell along those lines.
Yeah, so for that reaction, what I think of is burning sugar in one step. I think of almost throwing a marshmallow in a fire, or when you're toasting marshmallows and it just lights up, as sort of being a one-step reaction. However, the reaction over here on the right is a stepwise burning of sugar. Can anyone give me an example of that?
Could be breaking down food to become energy for you to store or use later.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I can't remember what the textbook said for the readings we were given, but I'll go with what David said.
Yeah, wonderful. So that's exactly right. So this might be similar to how your body breaks down sugar to create energy in the form of ATP. So wonderful. So which of these two reactions do you think would give off more heat or energy just from the products and reactants listed here?
If I had to guess based on what the textbook readings did, and I was kind of like looking at this stuff before class, just because I wanted to get a head start, I would have to guess the second reaction or the one to the right, because there's more steps involved. And so you're going from item A to item B to item C. And then of course you have your total formula there on the right. But if I had to guess, it'd probably be the second reaction discussed.
Okay. David?
I am going to guess the first reaction, just because I feel like more is happening quicker, and therefore more heat will be given off in a short span of time.
Okay. Yeah, both are really good answers. And the answer is they both give off the same amount of energy and heat. So they both give off around 2,800 kilojoules per mole, which is roughly equivalent to 4 calories per gram of sugar. So yeah, they both give off the same amount. And if you were working in a laboratory and you were conducting calorimetry experiments and you saw this, how would you state this observation?
The two previously mentioned processes yield the same or require the same amount of energy per gram?
They give off the same amount of energy per
Give
gram.
off the same amount of energy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess they definitely provide the exact same energy for their complete reaction.
Yeah, so that's exactly what Hess's law is. As Germain Henry Hess himself stated it, the heat developed in a chemical change is constant, whether the change occurs directly or indirectly in several changes. And overall, this sums up to the total heat involved in the chemical change depends solely on the beginning reactants and the ending products, not any of the intermediates in between. So as we can see in the equation down below, that's how you would calculate the net heat change involved in a reaction. So combining Hess's law with calorimetry, we were able to determine what the calories per gram for each of the major macronutrients in our food are. So, how would you measure the calories in food today?
I mean, I'm always on my brand new shiny iPhone 12, so I would probably try to find an app or something to input my values. Maybe I'd ask my parents for help in reading the labels for the different vitamins and minerals on the like cereal blocks and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, good use of technology.
Yeah, my mom actually uses Fitbit, and she counts her calories. And the Fitbit actually has pretty much all types of food already like stored into the technology. So she just finds whatever she eats and determines how many grams it was, and it'll tell her exactly how many calories it is.
Wonderful, yeah. So that's actually what we're going to be doing in this next little activity of how many calories are in the humble frozen pizza slice. So as you can see here on the left, we have our nutritional information with the various fats, carbohydrates, proteins, etc. And then just down here on the right, we have a list of the calories per gram for the major macronutrients. So do either of you want to take a stab at calculating how many calories would be in a pizza slice?
I guess you might give me a minute or two to
Of course.
get my math brain working.
Are we allowed to use calculators, Mr. P?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yeah, take your time. And if you want to bounce ideas off each other, you can. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because I've definitely done a calculation like this before. I'm just trying to remember how it works. Let me see.
I'm thinking going, fat amount of grams multiplied by 9 plus the carbs grams multiplied by how many calories per gram.
Yeah.
And then adding in the protein as well.
So that'll get you to, let's see.
If you have a calculator ready, Alex, it's 144 plus 88 plus 224.
All right, so that'll give us 456.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Good job.
Woohoo! Teamwork.
Yeah. So yeah, to calculate the calories in your food, you would just take your the amount of fat and multiply it by 9 calories per gram. And then the same for the carbohydrates and proteins, but those are worth 4 calories per gram. So wonderful. Good work. All right, and now we're going to move into our main activity for today. So what I want you to do is go to this website here and calculate your daily caloric needs. And then how many grams of food would you need to intake if your sole source of food was carbohydrates, fats, and proteins? All right, and then what I want you to do is make a list of the foods that you ate yesterday and look up their nutritional information online. From that information, how many calories did you intake and how many from each of the 3 macronutrients? Also, how would you adjust your diet to meet your specific needs or goals? So for example, if you need to gain weight, how would you adjust your diet using the food you ate yesterday to get more calories? And please be specific to the foods that you ate yesterday. So with that said, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, Mr. P, I was wondering if carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are the only sources of calories.
Yeah, so those are the 3 major sources of calories in our foods, hence the name macronutrients. However, you can get calories from other sources, but they're so minuscule that they're pretty much negligible in all the calculations. For example, it's very hard to gather caloric data from having someone eat a teaspoon of salt. And as we know, most of the energy that we have is through the breakdown of carbohydrate bonds. So
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. P.
Wonderful. Awesome. Yeah, is there any other questions?
No, David asked the same question I wanted to ask.
Perfect. Well, let's get into it then, and thank you very much.
Okay. I hope you don't mind me like freestyling a little
No,
bit.
it's okay.
You know, iPhone, asking my parents for help with like reading a cereal box. Like I know I'm gonna sound like a complete dumbass, but I need to play. I need to play. I'm trying to play a 14-year-old out here, right? 15-year-old, not a
Oh yeah, it's fine.
sophisticated
Yo,
23-year-old.
I'm really hoping Jeff isn't like filming your camera because Alex is like.
Yo, I've been doing.
No, I don't have your cameras being filmed. Don't worry.
Okay, because
Okay, good, 'cause
Alex is like dancing in the background.
Listen, I'm just trying to have a good time, man. All right, like let me
Yo.
pretend to have my shiny iPhone 12, 65 plus.
Yo, I got
Whatever
one.
it is.
Nice.
Is that an actual iPhone 12?
iPhone 12 mini.
Oh
Sweet.
man,
My sweet screen.
All right.
jeez, that's sick.
So in the conversation that followed the filming of this video, David, Alex, and myself talked about potentially starting a podcast called Teacher Talks, where we would discuss more about our experiences in Teachers College, our experiences during hiring and placements, and potentially talk with teacher candidates from other universities in Ontario about their experiences in Teachers College and what they've learned. So if you like that idea and want to hear those podcasts, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're probably going to be putting out our first podcast in a month or two. We're mostly waiting for this semester to die down a little bit and have some more time to cover the topics that we want. We'll probably be doing this about once every week or two over the course of the summer. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of content coming, and I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Also, for next week, I'm hoping to have a little bit of a longer video coming out, which will sort of chronicle my reading week and what that looked like. So stay tuned for that. Alright, so that's it for this video, everyone. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, or some of my science demonstrations, please like and subscribe to my channel. It goes a long way in helping a new YouTube creator like myself out. So with that said, have a great day, good luck with your online classes, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye everyone!